Welcome to the adventures of Astrid Price, created by Flying Bridge Theatre's new online repertory company. The scripts have been written by our two artistic directors, Tim Baker and Daniel LLewelyn-Williams, inspired by the short stories of Alan Roderick. This series of audio dramas is part of our response to the coronavirus lockdown of 2020. Without stages on which to play, we've tried to emulate as far as possible the immediacy and intimacy of live theatre. Therefore, each episode is recorded as a single take by actors, technicians and a director working remotely from home studios, linked and mixed live across the internet. What you hear has not been edited, it's how it was performed. Music and direction by Tim Baker, technical support by Matthew Williams, marketing and distribution by Jamie Rees. Astrid Price, private investigator, is played by Manon Eames, and all other characters are played by Daniel LLewelyn-Williams. This project has been made possible by the Arts Council of Wales, the National Lottery and the Welsh Government. We hope you enjoy. Diolch.
To begin, in the middle. It is a sarky winter's day in the bedocked old river-mouthed city, where salty seabirds scud the divided sky, and sad clouds hover like bloated fishwives, and the girls cry, "Shwark, shwark!" and shit, willy-nilly, nilly-willy, willingfully, wilfully and willingly, on suspecting passers-by, and the mauve mud of the riverbank glistens like fresh lamb's liver. It is a marmalade morning at break of fast in the tiny bedsit I share with Mam, dame of the dishcloth, mistress of the bop and mucket, she who loves me and keeps me dishwasher safe for all maternity.
Astrid! Astrid! Here's your toast, dear. And have you heard the word on the street? Rifled rumours all over town and around. Little birds telling tales all over Wales. I mean, how can you lose a poem? But they're saying it's been stolen.
What's been stolen, Mam?
A poem, I told you, a poem. By that thingamy-jingamy. You know, what's his name-amy? That windy man who writes about growing up in parks. You know, Doubting Dylan.
Thomas Dylan, you mean, Mam?
That's what I said. Him. But how can you steal a poem?
Ah, the manuscript's been taken. Sounds like a job for me, Mam.
It does, do it? It does, don't it? Right up here street, my love. Astrid Price, private investigator.
What does it does? It does, it don'ts? Hey, Mrs. P.
Oh, there's a face standing in the doorway.
Is Stakis Theodorakis our landlord?
Oh, there's a conch pointing nosily straight at me.
He's a sweet Greek and not so meek.
Oh, there's a moustache, black as old Tom's cat.
Stakis is chief fish fryer at the Lion Cod chip shop downstairs.
Branwen, Mrs. P. Where did you get that smile, eh?
Oh, get away, you.
Who is he loves you?
Never you mind.
Cross your heart?
Shan't tell.
Come on, girl.
Cross my heart, winks and nods will cost you half a Glendour apiece, mind.
I take 2 squids worth. Ha ha! Branwen, I whisk you to Port Cowell in my bald-tired charabang, and we make a jiggy-jig on the spotted sands, eh? Eh?
Ooh, there's an offer you can't reuse, innit, Astrid? Oh, you fanciful fish fryer, Stakis, you.
I fry cod and squid and haddock and skate and monkfish and pollock and sole, scooped from the sea in the folds of the net, or caught with a rod or a pole.
Oh, I loves a bit of poetry.
My chips, they exult the humble spud, I peels them with wondrous ease. So come all to Stackis for battered delights, all smothered in my mushy peas.
Oh, there's rhymes on you.
You know, I write that all by myself, on my Todd. You know any?
Well, you've definitely got away with words, eh, Astrid? I do love a man who knows where to put a semicolon.
Well, that's just it, innit, Mrs. P? I got time to make rhymes now. I been saving the old Glendoors to buy a new potato peeler and a chipper. It is fast, and so now I have all the time in my hands. I decides to become a poet.
A poet, Stackis?
Yes. But you know, with my English, is hard sometimes to find the rhymes. For example, I am writing an ode to Moussaka. But how do you find a rhyme for Moussaka?
I couldn't find nowhere to park her. I likes my mascara darker.
Oh, Mrs. P, very good. Maybe we should write together, eh?
Well, I do like a man with a muse. I've always said that.
No, Stackis, you got it all wrong. A poem doesn't have to rhyme.
What? What you mean?
I mean, poetry doesn't have to rhyme. That's very old-fashioned, that is.
Hey, come on, who you kidding, eh? If it doesn't rhyme, it's not a poem, eh?
No, poetry is... Well, it's less about the rhymes and more about ways of describing things. The world, your feelings, putting words that maybe don't usually belong together, if you see what I mean.
You mean like, talking about the fish and the flower all at the same time?
Well, kind of. Like, instead of talking about catching fish, you could, amble through the meadows of the sea.
What?
Oh, bloody hell. Astrid, you swallowed an atlas or what?
I think you mean dictionary, ma'am.
Astrid, I only goes to 4 syllables in exceptional circumstances. You knows that.
So, you see what I mean, Stackis?
Oh, no, so I can say my car is a potato, and that's poetry?
Well, if you said your heart was a potato, I get an image of maybe something lumpy and unfeeling. It's all about the power of metaphor, see?
The what?
The metaphor.
So what for is a metaphor for?
A metaphor's for describing one thing by using another. It's like the way sayings work. Too many cooks spoil the broth. It's not actually just about cooks and soup. It's used in lots of different ways, don't you see?
I don't sell soup, so I don't need many cooks anyway. You know what? Maybe I sound like, how you say, old fogey, but I'm not gonna stick with the old-fashioned way with rhymes. Call a spade, innit?
Well, that's kind of poetic, calling a spade a spade.
Oh, I knew you shouldn't have done that PhD on the modern voice, love. Come here, Stackis. She got you all confused, love. Come and sit down and we'll write the ditty together.
Yes, Mrs. P.
Now then, what rhymes with heart?
How about fart for a start?
Go wash your mouth out, you naughty boy.
They jostle and joke with each other all day long, Mam and Stackis. And so we have begun, and are now in the half-mid time. I leave those amorous if ancient lovebirds and walk the frosted street of the hazy, lazy city, past Morgan Lewis, washing the windows of his 2 up, 2 down, 1 out the back for a slash and a fart terrace house. Morning, Mr. Lewis, how's your pipes?
Astrid, don't talk to me about pipes. I knows them too well. They'll hang on till December, then spout all over me. And you can't get a plumber for love nor lust these days.
So true, so true.
Barada, Astrid.
Betty Bishop, bakers and cake makers, 50 a day for 40 years. On her 4th husband, all brothers. 3rd one gave her the dodge in a tea shop in Cardiff and ran all the way home to his mother.
Hey, come and have a cream puff on me, love, for keeping our streets safe.
That's just it, Betty. I haven't had a case for weeks now. Where have all the bad people gone, say? The crooks and the thieves, the swindlers and the burglars, the robbers, embezzlers, pilferers and plunderers. Where to the liars and cheats, say?
Oh, there's a lot of words.
What I mean is, I got no bread and butter.
Oh, well, you can have a bit of laddie cake if you like.
I just want the phone to ring.
Oh, there you are, right on cue. Answer it, girl. Bet you got a job offer right there.
Hello?
Astrid, I've got a job offer for you.
It's Peter Jennings, head of MI6. Peter, don't tell me. Find a missing manuscript.
Oh, yes, matter of fact, you're right. Spot on, old sport. Our national poet, Mr. T. Delan.
The man who called poetry a 9-foot goblin with 2 noses.
What? Did he?
Called himself a beast, an angel and a madman all in one.
That's him.
Yeah, I've heard some rumour. So, what's the story?
Well, if you can call it a story, 5 years ago the manuscript of a previously unknown poem by said wordsmith was discovered in an old lady's bedpan in Abertawe. It's a love poem written to his wife, Caitlin. Anyway, it was analysed and proved to be the real thing. Who says to me that you are not my love?
I dunno, Peter Love. Who does?
No, that's the title of the poem. According to the academics, it's not a particularly great work, but it does contain the line, like a newborn nation, all proud and loud. Apparently, it's just a metaphor for an anticipatory pudenda, but it became the motto for the Welsh independence movement, on T-shirts and beer mats everywhere. After the election, following the Celtic Spring, the manuscript became a national treasure, placed on display at the HQ of the newly formed Independent Republic of Cymru, and it became a big attraction. Well, that is, until yesterday. Fire alarm goes off, building evacuated, the whole 9 yards, but it was a false alarm. We all piled back in to find the manuscript gone. Gone! 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 Said the park keeper, tending the grass you should keep off of.
You've been reading up on him.
A little. Not bad for a tubby Welshie.
Oh, watch it you. Gone, you say. But where? Any thoughts, Peter? Suspicions? Conjecture? Hunches?
None. A futile dance with the sniffer dog of suspicion, utterly scentless. It's completely baffling, like a grave full of comedians.
No leads at all?
Not a Frankfurter.
What about the political opposition to the Celtic Spring? The English reunionists? Could they have stolen it?
We've had our inside chaps on the ground. Nothing. So it's over to you with your uncanny skill at following your hunches. Now I must put on rubber gloves and pull the town hall bell rope, for there are rats aloft. Rats aloft. Rats. Rats. Rats.
And he's gone, in a random tornado of Dylanisms. A missing manuscript. Where to start? If it's not politically motivated, then who did steal it? Maybe it's someone with a grudge. Someone in the Thomas industry? The Thomas industry is huge. The Thomas Museum, the Thomas Centre, the Thomas Theatre, the Thomas Lookalike Society, full of 5'6.5" gabbing, ambitious, pretentious, moly men with thick blubber lips, snub noses and mousy curled hair. I visit them all, in turn, but nobody knows of a soul that would think bad of Thomas. In the Thomas Emporium in Sketty, you can buy TD toilet paper, TD tea towels, notebooks, pencils, sweatshirts and onesies with "Do not go grumpy into that good night" on them. I ask around, but nobody there knows of a soul that would think bad of Thomas. Just off the M4, near Abertawe, is the Thomas Dillon Garden Centre, which sells apple boughs, bosky saplings, flower groves and trees and leaves trailing with daisy and barley. And next door is the Thomas Dillon Wildlife Centre with pink lobsters, horned horses, red donkeys, cats with lives numbered, dogs that have had their day, spellbound mares, chased rabbits, lovesick wood pigeons, and mischievous and intolerant wives. But nobody there knows of a soul that would think bad of Thomas. I go to the Thomas Dillon spoken word experience. and am showered by dry, wistful academics with alliteration, puns, paradox, allusion, simile, paradigm, slang, assonantal rhymes, and sprung rhythm. But nobody there knows of a soul that would think bad of Thomas. I pass at travel agents offering an unforgettable Thomas New York experience. A night in the Chelsea Hotel, 6 pints of American ale and 18 straight whiskies with unlimited emphysema, blackouts and gout thrown in. But nobody there knows of a soul that would think bad of Thomas. Tired and exhausted, I go to the Thomas Dillon Food Centre, which sells boiled sweets, weed killer biscuits, ginger and old kippers in a box. They claim a roaring trade in raw onions in their overcoats, brilliantined trouts, whaled juice, moonshine and old grandad whiskey. There's mousehole cheese, lemon rind tea, jugged omelette, fish eyes in stout, flagons and eels with devilled otter, shrew and mole. I ask around, but nobody there knows of a soul that would think bad of Thomas. So I decide to read him. I wonder if maybe somewhere between the vowely vowels and the crafty consonants, between the poesy and the parenthetical, there might be a clue. An image of my childhood flashes before me, curled up in front of the fire, devouring the words of a Mr. T. Dillon. Now, in the mid-stride of my life, I will arise and meet Dillon again, shake his poetic hand and promise to find his missing manuscript. I walk home through the park with a nod to the hunchback and sit and read again. First of all, his poems.
It is my 20th year to heaven, and the mottled sunlight drops through the branches of the old pear tree.
I read the stories of young Thomas.
One of us is the wickeder, boy!
Screams a Gledwin elevated above us atop the hay cart, the terrified dormouse quivering between his teeth.
One of us? Who? You, young Thomas!
And he points the holy sharpened stick at me, and he sends my soul to the bottom of the oceans. I haven't done nothing, Gledwin, to deserve purgatory. Not forever.
No!
Uncle Edwin screams, and the dormouse slips from his jaw, drops to the floor, and hurries away.
But I seen you! With you pants down in the lave, I saw you, Dillon!
I read his plays.
There's a wife for you, bad as a mother.
Put her in the asylum,
Just like her brother.
it's all antics in that house.
They pulls the wool, they do, no word of a lie. It's plain as day, man. They're all up to no good.
I read the letters of Thomas Dillon.
My dear, with all my love, I am a fat walrus dying for lack of gooseberries and kisses. Thomas.
And the broadcasts.
This is Freedom Forum from the BBC. Today we are going to talk about poetry with Thomas Dillon, who some people regard as one of the moderns.
I read about his life.
And so, in 1937, Thomas married Caitlin MacDougall. That April, both of them in dire financial straits.
Wait a moment. Thomas and Caitlin. The famous union that was to be dashed on the rocks of booze and banter, scandal, scorn and marital misogyny. But more of her later.
Later!
Later. But Caitlin has long since passed on. It is the arse end of a long day, and I'm empty-handed. Nothing. Sleep calls out. Night falls, gets to his feet and falls again. I take my nightie from the drawer marked nighties and look out into the hoot-owled darkness. Somewhere out there is the answer to my quest, but for now there is naught but the O of the flying moon. Passing Mam's bedroom door, ajar, I can't work out in the shafty moonlight through the window where Mam begins and Starkis ends, and I think they probably don't know either, and I smile. I drag my bed-ready head to the pillow. Then, between the sheets, I nod to the land a nod. A nod lets me in.
Astrid, Astrid, are you asleep? Come now, come, drift over the somnolent city, where late lovers cutch in the crannies, and ravens and rooks nest in the nooks. And under the rooftops, in the lofts and attics, nocturnal antics persist.
"Oh, Maldwyn!"
Oh, Morvydd! Mr. and Mrs. Dietrich Pedwar, under the eider down, with a gardener's dibber. And Golly Parter, barmaid of the Hole in the Toad, worries about the rent.
"I haven't got it, Mr. Morris. Give me more time."
While her kippers burn on the old gas ring. Although last Saturday she did find 56p clattering in the gents' urinal, someone had had a pecuniary piss. She pockets it prompt.
"I remember that Saturday. A man came in with a monkey on a string, ordered 2 pints of stout, peanuts for his marsupial, and then tries to flog me a box of crabs. He got short shrift, I can tell you. To hell with his slap and tickle, I says. Turns out he wasn't French after all."
In the upstairs of 39, old Mr. Humphreys dabbles with nitroglycerine. And one door down, John Mortar, builder's merchant, he of amateur prop-forward fame and cauliflower years, dreams he'll wake up a potato. Meanwhile, 2 doors down, yes, bad girl frigs herself stupid with a spatula. And in 1937, Thomas Delan marries Caitlin MacDougall. What's that got to do with the city at night? It's everything to do with Astrid's plight. Onward then, Thomas and Caitlin married. See how they run, bejumpered over the sheepy fields, and she bears her nationhood to him. Astrid, Astrid, are you asleep? Are you? Are you? Good. Listen. Thomas and Caitlin settle in Carmarthenshire. In his words, the arsehole of the universe, on the edge of pretty, sick, fond and sad old Wales. Once a week they go to town and to the cinema, where fleas hop in the dusty upholstery, and she feels the critical eye of the locals all over her. They love him, but they never loved her. The 2 of them drink and fight. Drink and fight. They shag, then drink and fight. Take lovers, drink and fight again. Throw forks and boots at one another, and then drink and fight. She wants too to be an artist, but alas, she becomes a mother, and always, always, always the poet's wife. And his journey to fame, but not fortune, continues. Hush! Astrid, see how she slumbers as the dawn waits in the wings of the morning, and the haggard bouncers and rowdy revellers and waiters of the late-night bars and washer-uppers and night-shift drivers and two-timing cheats and vampires, Tasmanian devils and bespectacled bears slope, stagger and mope to their beds. And the alderman mayor, he wafts his farts northwards up the duvet for a reassuring sniff, and then he hums a homage to cabbages and leek. And in the wee winky hours, Evan ap Evans the post prepares his round, and gives a lie to the rumours that he steams open the mail to pry and snoop. "Oh no, we got an app for that now." So Evan ap Evans has an app for that now. And in 1937, Thomas Delan marries Caitlin. What's that got to do with the emerging day? Everything. Soon after, Thomas writes, "Who says to me that you are not my love?" A love poem to Caitlin. And then he promptly loses it. Remember, Astrid, it's a love poem to Caitlin. Wake up, Astrid, sleepyhead.
You've sleuthing to do.
What? Oh, Caitlin. Oh, thank God for my dreams, for my hunches, for my idling brain that goes in sleep to the dark places and illuminates them. Right, no time for a shower, straight onto the web and write wiki. No. I need to go to a much darker place than Wikipedia dark places. Darker into the black, soot black of the foggiest recesses of the cybersphere. And suddenly, there, in the blackness of the other side, where black itself can't see itself, I find a thread. Maligned spouses and sweet revenge. I follow it, past references to Rodin, Krasner, Jackson Pollock, and finally, Caitlin. A secret society, the Daughters of Caitlin. To enter, he wants a password, like a slammed door in my face. A password. I type in Caitlin. Thomas? The boathouse. Come Donkin. Oh, only one attempt left. To hell with it, I think, and throw chance to the breeze. As if from a great height I watch my fingers as they type all one word, lowercase, no spaces. Who says to me that you are not my love? Return. Bing! I'm effing in, you clever girl, Astrid. Do the Daughters of Caitlin have the missing manuscript, then? There's a mission statement. To restore the tarnished reputation of Caitlin, to free her from the shadow of the monster poet. There's a phone number. I recognise it as an Irish mobile. I call it.
Hello! Whoever this is, complete the passphrase. She was suffocated by his glory.
I'm winging this like a peacock on heat. She was forever in his shade.
Good. How can I help you, sister?
Well, I lost my diary. The next meeting?
Well, tonight, of course. The AGM. Only one item on the agenda.
Which is?
Did you not get the encrypted text?
Oh, I changed my phone recently. So, the agenda?
Oh, the burning issue. It'll be over in seconds.
Anything to do with a theft recently?
Haha, everything to do with a theft. No. Dispersal. No. Liberation. No. Elimination. So, will we see you tonight?
I'll be there.
Usual place, 7:30.
Usual place?
I love the sunsets at Larne. Look out for the burning torches on the beach.
I'll be there.
Good. Go gentle.
Go gentle. And he's gone. Gone. What a lead! 7:30 on the beach at Larne in West Wales. I strut and pace up and down my scratch pen office like a broody hen, hatching, like a tigress about to leap, like a spider guarding her web. If this, then that. If that, then this. Suddenly, I got a plan. I'm a full half hour on the phone to Peter Jennings, MI6.
Wait, go over all that again, Astrid.
No time, Peter.
OK, I think I've got it. I'll see you later. Oh, Astrid?
Yes?
I've just remembered looking at my skinny long white legs in the wardrobe mirror and turtle doves. Yes, I lived in a house full of birds once, harriers and hat boxes. I was an only lonely child. Bye.
Mad as a meat cleaver. I hastily create a makeshift flaming torch from string and back issues of a camera, and I sprint to my trusty yellow Gilban, the car that put the K in jalopy, and swing onto the M Pedwar. As I drive, I call up Giri, the Gilban intelligence robotic investigator.
Hello, Astrid. How can I help you?
Just do exactly as I say, Giri.
When would I ever not?
When would I ever not? Giri, you should know that a negative qualification always follows the auxiliary verb.
Sorry. Whenever would I not?
That's better.
Pedant.
Philistine.
Astrid, this conversation is not going very well. Let's start again. What would you have me do, oh mistress?
OK, listen carefully.
By the way, would you like me to send a text message to Waldo?
Waldo? No, Giri, I do not want you to send a text message to Waldo. I want you to carry out an urgent mission for me.
I'm all ears.
I want you to connect to the Nasda Superstore, make a purchase for me and arrange for it to be ready for click and collect at Cross Hands on the way to West Wales in 2 hours' time. Can you do that?
Of course. Piece of wee-wee.
2 hours later, my package is waiting for me when we get to Cross Hands. I nip to the ladies with it and then jump back into the car and we tear off again. As the sun sets, I drive into the golden horizon, onwards towards Larne. It's dark when I arrive. I can see cars parking along the shoreline and people walking towards the beach with flaming torches. I can just make out they are wearing masks, and I luckily have one in my car. Occasionally, clouds part and the watery moon bathes the beach in silver grey. I join the crowd, in my right hand the flaming torch, and my left holding a secret weapon under my coat, primed and charged. A masked man is standing at the top of a stepladder in the centre of the beach. There must be 400-500 people. The crowd gathers around the man on the ladder. As soon as he speaks, I know it is the man I spoke to on the phone earlier this day.
Friends gathered here as we are, incognito, welcome all of you to this, the AGM of the Daughters of Caitlin.
At the word Caitlin, the crowd murmurs back, Caitlin,
Caitlin,
Caitlin, Caitlin, Caitlin.
We bear no malice towards the great man, by the way, the darling poet of his nation. But we believe in realising his own potential. He stifled hares. As you know, each year we burn a poem, a symbolic act. But this year is special. We have, how can I say, acquired a genuine piece of symbolic poetic history written by him to her. And here it is!
And the man holds aloft a faded brown piece of paper. It's the manuscript.
Yes, a Green's Hotel menu with the poem "Who says to me that you are not my love?" scrawled all over the sausage and mash and lamb cutlets. He touched this. He spilt his beer on this. He fashioned his amorous ink on this in the name of Caitlin.
Again, the crowd echoes, Caitlin, Caitlin, Caitlin.
And thus we commit this embodiment of him in the name of her to flame, smoke, and all eternity.
And he holds the paper aloft higher as the crowd chants over and over again, Who says to me that you are not my love? Who says to me that you are not my love?
Who says to me that you are not my love?
He waves the paper triumphantly like a trophy of war. Then he signals the crowd to silence, which comes and is heavy with anticipation. Suddenly, from somewhere, like a sleight of hand conjurer, the man produces a flame and brings it slowly toward... Whoosh! I let loose half the contents of my new Super Bazooka pump-action water cannon for ages 6 and over and score a direct hit on the flame. A millisecond later, I fire a second shot straight into the face of the Irishman. Just as I hoped, in shock, he lets go of the manuscript, but I'm already running, and in the best tradition of the greatest Epenenders, I catch the manuscript, break my momentum with a forward roll, and then keep on running. The crowd gives chase, but Peter is as good as his word, and right on time, he and his MI6 agents arrive over the dunes, running towards the crowd, all dressed as Thomas Stelling lookalikes. It's a swarm of tweed and corduroy. Nice little touch, that. Just to humour me. Thanks, Jenny. The crowd do an about turn and run for their cars. Some make it, but many are floored by the bardic onslaught, including the ringleader, the soaking Irishman. It's mayhem. But I am running in the opposite direction, with the original manuscript safe in my hand. I almost run straight into Peter, standing on the edge of a dune, in a curly wig, with a fag drooping from his mouth. Peter, nice touch. You good old sport. I have the manuscript. Look.
Good egg. But a pretty high-risk strategy there, Astrid. You could easily have soaked the manuscript with your cannon thingy, and all the ink would have run.
I know, Peter, but 4 years as a Cold War sniper and 2 Olympic sharpshooting medals gives me devastating confidence, even with a souped-up water pistol.
Well done, Astrid. Well done. And now let us go, you and I, to where the salt marsh meets the lapping sea, and lie betwixt the crab pools and whisper, who says to you that I am not your love? And call, who goes there, to the flying moon.
Another time, Peter, and time itself shall tell us when. Right now, I gotta get back to Carsnewydd. It's Friday. Fish and chips supper with Mam. Can't miss that. Bye. To begin at the end, and the end is a new beginning. The celestial park-keeper draws the gates of the day to a close and rattles the keys of the night. The priceless manuscript of Who Says to Me That You Are Not My Love is safely back in his display case with added security, and the nation breathes a sigh. In Cumbrian Crescent, Minnie Williams blows on her cocoa, curls her toes around her hotty botty, and tries to forget about the man from Newcastle. Pew Morgan of Morgan, Morgan and Morgan Funeral Directors buries his thoughts and lines up his sheep for counting. And Shadrach Jenkins wakes with a start in Betsy Bellow's knocking shop and hurries home to his wife, who is waiting in the doorway with a fish kettle.
Hiya, love. What you been up to today?
And in the little bedsit above the Lion Cod chip shop, Astrid Price tells her mam a story in between mouthfuls of haddock with curry sauce, all about this special Friday.
Ooh, there's a day, love, innit? There's a day what's been and gone.